Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Fun Friday Ideas with me, Susan, your speech language pathologist. For today's activity, what we're going to do is we're going to honor one of my favorite people in American history, Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker is credited with being one of the first self-made American female millionaires. Granted, there were female millionaires before her, but her fortune is well documented and she's self-made. She built it from the ground up. Madam C.J. Walker was inspired to start her hair care industry because of her own struggles with dandruff, balding, and other hair and scalp issues. Her brothers were barbers, and that helped influence her as well, along with her work with another entrepreneur in the hair care industry, which of course led to some drama as Madam Walker's business was taking off. Madam Walker's business around the turn of the century was employing 20,000 females who would go door to door and teach other women how to take care of their hair using these products. Just think of all the similar companies right now that are doing almost the same thing. And C.J. Walker is setting the foundation for women to do this. I encourage you to check out a little bit more about C.J. Walker's story and how she grew her company from just being a small little offshoot to, again, employing 20,000 women and having mail order sales, door-to-door sales, back in the 19-teens. It's amazing to see what she was able to accomplish back then. So in her honor, what we're going to do is we're going to take some easy peasy ingredients and make some jelly hand soaps that your kids are going to love using to wash their hands. It's going to be a fun sensory experience. You can tweak it however you would like. And what I also encourage you to do is to have your children come up with a sales pitch for their soap. So let them think about the ingredients that they're going to put in this soap and see if they can sell you on buying their soap. All right, well, let's get started, and here we go. All right, so here are the ingredients and the supplies that you're going to need today. We're going to need a teaspoon of salt, 2 packets of gelatin, some gel hand soap, along with a muffin tin or a silicone tray. Now, silicone trays work much better. I have cupcake liners in my cupcake tray here to make it easy to take them out. All right, so here we're going to pour half a cup of boiling water, so be careful, it's boiling. Go ahead and pour that right in there and then dump it into our mixing bowl. Then we'll go ahead and we're going to add our teaspoon of salt. Stir it up a little bit, get that nice and dissolved. Okay. All right, so now we're going to add our packets of gelatin. Now, something you can do as a twist on this is using agar-agar, which is a vegan replacement for gelatin and would work in this recipe as well. Unfortunately, my local grocery store did not have agar-agar today, so I'm using gelatin. Stir that up, make sure that gelatin gets nice and dissolved as well. There we go. All right. Nice and smooth in there before we add our gel soap. Now, I'm using one of my favorite soaps from around the house, the gel hand soap from Grove. However, you can also use hand soaps that have fun different colors, different smells. There is also soap dye that you can use, so that way you can make some fun colors as well. I kept mine pretty simple with just using the gel hand soap that I have on hand from Grove. So we'll go ahead and we're going to stir this up. Again, get everything nice and mixed together. We're going to end up spooning off those soap bubbles that you see in there, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the gel soap in there, and then we're going to scoop those soap bubbles off of there so that way our molds don't have bubbles. Now you could leave the bubbles in there and have some bubbles on top of your mold. It's up to you. All right, so I have my little spoon here. Take a little second here, scoop all this out so that we have a nice smooth liquid that we're going to pour into our molds. Like I mentioned before, if you happen to have a silicone mold, that's going to work a lot better. I don't have any silicone molds that I felt like using, so I am using that cupcake tray with the cupcake liners. That way I can get my molds out easily after being refrigerated. Keep scooping this out. All right, almost there, just a little bit more. There we go. Last little scoop here. All right, there we go, smooth enough. All right, now I'm gonna put it in my pitcher here for easy pouring, because if I pour it from this mixing bowl, I'm gonna get it all over my stove. And now we'll go ahead and we'll fill up the tray. After we fill up the tray, we're gonna go ahead and put it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours to give the molds time to solidify, and then we'll check on them in 2 hours after they've gone in there. All right, so I got about 3.5 with this recipe, just to let you know. Got about 3.5 of those cupcake molds filled. All right, 2 hours in the refrigerator, here we go. All right, 2 hours later, and here we go. Check it out. Scoop it right out using the cupcake liner. And here we have our little gummy jelly soap that we can use to wash our hands. Now, they'll last about 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator, so I recommend keeping them in the refrigerator. And they're just a fun way. Wash your hands, give some good different texture. Now the soap that I use doesn't tend to foam up very much. So again, try different soaps, see how that changes the bubbles. These are all different ways that you can market your soaps, or your children can market their soaps to you. All right, put it back in there for the rest of the day. You could leave it there and have some fun with it later. All right, I hope you guys had fun making your soaps. Feel free to send me some pictures and see I'd love to see what different types of ingredients and colors your kids may have used and how their sales pitches came together and how they were able to honor Madam CJ Walker's success. All right, guys, until next time, I'll see you then.